We're playing San Diego. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, and puked in between. And that's when I knew it.
I felt like I was playing with little kids and I was a grown man, like Superman.
I ran the fastest 40 at the camp, and I was still 15 years old. So that's when I knew I was gonna be pretty good. Oh yeah.
Ray Lewis talking to Terrell Suggs as Michael Vick's touchdown pass giving the Falcons a 7-0 lead. Vick has completed 5 of 7 for 44 yards and the touchdown pass. Michael Kanan kicking off. B.J. Sams on the return, fakes the handoff to Clarence Moore, keeps it and gets buried at the 17.
Well, Michael Jenkins is coming out of the, he's going to come out of this area here. They're going to run an exchange at the top. Watch as the inside receiver goes deep. Michael Jenkins comes underneath. You're going to see him. They got him on top and then down low. When you run that boot pass, everybody's coming across. But what a tremendous throw by Michael Vick. You saw all the Raven defenders around him, and we saw the pressure he had with Adelis Thomas boring right down on him. The only concern we have right now is did he jam that thumb on his throwing hand on the hit by Adelis Thomas?
Vick's 13th touchdown pass of the year. Nearly a minute and a half remaining in the first quarter. First down, and McNair rolling out under pressure. Flag is down. Pass caught by Todd Heap, who will have a first down pending the call up to the 31.
Holding, number 92 defense.
Chauncey Davis making his 8th start in place of John Abraham. So it'll be a first down and a gain of 14.
Go back and look at that touchdown throw again. You see as he's following through, he's got Adelis Thomas right in his face. Then he falls down onto the left arm. So you don't know if he made contact with Adelis Thomas in the helmet or the shoulder pad on his follow through, or he heard it when he landed on the ground. But you can see right there as he gets up, he's trying to shake it off.
Ravens first down on their 31. Low, Mark Clayton is there and incomplete on the play. For a game break, here's Chris Rose.
All right, Dick, I got a completed pass down in the bayou. Drew Brees on the flea flicker. Look at this throw to Joe Horn right in stride between 3 defenders. 72 yards on the touch. His longest catch in 7 years has tied the game against the Bengals. Back to Dick, Moose, and Goose.
All right, Chris, and an amazing story for the Saints, who have a 1-game lead in the NFC South, battling Cincinnati, so that game has a direct relationship to the one going on right here. Second down and 10 for the Ravens. McNair. And McNair puts it out, able to hold on with Daniel Wilcox, who was the second tight end, and it was Jonathan Babineau putting some good pressure on the quarterback. There you have ice on that left hand, so it'll be interesting to see what happens when Vick does get back on offense the next series.
And that's got to affect his grip when he's throwing the football. So keep an eye on that. He warming up with Matt Schaub right there, testing it out.
3rd and 10 coming up for the Ravens. And Darryl Shropshire making a beeline toward the quarterback before the snap.
False start, number 75 offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's a matchup I've been looking at. Jonathan Ogden against Darryl Shropshire. He's actually a nose guard, and they're putting him outside on him to go and occupy Jonathan Ogden. I mean, what a mismatch that is.
So you could have played against Jonathan Ogden then, right?
Well, I'd like to think I could have.
Well, that raises the level of nose tackles in this game. 3rd down and 15 after the penalty. And the pass out of the backfield. And holding on after the bobble is Moose Smith, but short of the first down. So the Atlanta Falcon defense showing up impressively here in the first quarter, once again forcing the Ravens to kick.
I'll tell you what, right now this Ravens team better get a sense of urgency about them. We talked about injuries for the Atlanta Falcons. The Ravens are taking advantage of it right now. They have got to get up and start playing this game with a sense of urgency because Atlanta's controlling it right now.
Last punt return by Rossum was 36 yards, which set up the touchdown. So here is Sam Cook. And they're going to let that clock run down, and that will be the end of the first quarter. So the Ravens got a break early on when the Falcons gambled on 4th and inches, could not capitalize on the missed field goal, but it's Atlanta with the lead. 7-0 over Baltimore as Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages. And we start the second quarter. Dick, Moose, and Goose with you here in Baltimore, and Sam Cook punting on 4th down to Allen Rossum. Once again, this time the Falcons trying to block it, and the ball bouncing at the 40, and Rossum is going to let it die, and it does at the 30-yard line.
All right, you read these two guys were on the outside. They came in. Now, they went back with 2 safeties, and that guy went out here. Joe DeCamillis, the special teams coach for the Atlanta Falcons, it looks like he's got the green light to be aggressive today. He has pressured the punter. You saw the wall return that Tony talked about by Allen Rossum to give him good field position. When you have injuries on one area of your team, the other guys have to pick up the slack, and it looks like the Falcons are looking at special teams as a way to try and keep in the game and do some different things to create field position.
Can't underestimate that part of the game as the flip to Jarius Norwood, and the Ravens are there. There'll be a loss of 2 yards on the play. Samari Rolle coming up from the cornerback position. Loss of a pair, and anytime you knock the Falcons back on a running play, you're doing a great job because they lead the NFL in rushing yards per game. Second down and 12. Michael Vick never had ice on his left hand. We haven't seen him attempt to throw as of yet. Justin Griffith is with him in the backfield on second down and 12. And now pressure on Vick, trying to get away and throws the ball out of bounds. And let's see if there's going to be a flag as the referee came close to pulling it. And out of the pocket, Bill Levy very close to throwing the flag.
I tell you, a lot of people talk about how you can't hit the quarterback anymore. You can't hit him in the helmet. You can't hit him at the knees or below. But that play there, to me, is in my opinion, more annoying to me than the protection on the quarterback. You've got to keep him healthy. But for a guy with Michael Vick's athletic ability to just have to scramble outside the pocket and get the ball beyond the line of scrimmage to avoid a sack, I'd like to see that rule changed.
Third down and 12 on the 28-yard line. He's very elusive, and he's more than just a quarterback. Stepping up and throwing, and the pass caught by Justin Griffith. And Griffith on 3rd and long is stopped well short of first down yardage by Corey Ivy.
There you go, Tony. I took one for the defense for you.
I was waiting for that. I waited a long time for you to go and stick up for the defensive guys. They protect these quarterbacks like there's no tomorrow.
I understand from an injury standpoint, but you can't lose the competitive balance of the game. You have a great defensive play, and it makes it too easy for the quarterback to avoid that sack.
It took you more than half the season to finally side with Tony's view.
I thought it was going to take longer than that.
He's coming around, Dick. Don't worry, he's coming around.
Fourth down, and Keenan goes down, and no flag there as a long look by Bill Levy to see if running into the kicker was the call. There wasn't. Ed Reed came perilously close. Johnny Unitas, who played for the Baltimore Colts here, and it was 50 years ago that he made his first appearance in the National Football League. Still revered in this city. First down on the 28 for the Ravens. Jamal Lewis is the tailback. Falcons leading 7-0. McNair to throw, and the pass off the hands, and the flag goes down. Mark Clayton, and he had D'Angelo Hall on his arm. And a pass interference penalty coming up will give the Ravens the ball in Falcon territory.
Pass interference, number 21 defense. First down spot for the Falcons.
27 yards as Hall appeals to no avail.
He's got his head back to the ball. A little tug right there on the arm, I think, is what it was. I think he's in good position. He's got a little bit of an arm bar there, but I think it's that little tug on the inside arm of Mark Clayton at the end.
I don't know, Moose. I'm going to have to go against you there. I think they got to let him play with that one. That was not enough, I think, for a flag.
And not a good birthday present, the 23rd for D'Angelo Hall, as Jamal Lewis maybe a yard on the play as we get it out to Chris Rhodes for another game break. Chris.
All right, Dick, last stand for the defending champs. Big Ben looking for Santonio Holmes, but finding Devin Holly, who returns it to the house. Roethlisberger also picked off in the red zone. 16 times he's been picked off. That leads the league. And the Browns lead the Steelers. Back to Dick, Moose, and Goose.
One of the great rivalries in the league. Cleveland looking for back-to-back wins.
We talked about the inconsistency of the Atlanta Falcons, but the Pittsburgh Steelers in the same boat. A big win last week against New Orleans. Ugh, looking ugly today for them.
Consistency is very difficult in the league this day, as you saw Derek Mason go in motion to the left and the pass up the middle, and open for the catch is Obi Mahaley, and close to the first down. And Obi Mahaley, who scored his first NFL touchdown last week against Tennessee.
Watch Steve in this pass just kind of move and shift around, and then the ability to just ad-lib the throw. I mean, you know, sometimes it's not drawn up perfect. You can't step up in the pocket. You can't have the right elbow here and the ball up by the ear and everything that all these people want to teach a guy how to throw a ball. Sometimes you're in the pocket. You just got to find a way to get it to your receiver.
He did there. It's just short of the first down. So McNair, who is 7 for 10, 66 yards, and you notice Mark Clayton lining up as the tailback gets the pitch. Here's Mark Clayton, and he is hit, down he goes. So the Ravens are foiled, and once again, the Falcon defense outplaying the Baltimore Ravens. Chris Crocker with the play, a loss of 5, and fourth down coming up after they had third and short.
Don't get tricky on third down. They move Mark Clayton to the top of the eye. This is Jamal Lewis right here at the fullback spot. I would have handed the ball off to him. It's a quick hitting play. You kind of catch him off guard. He's got a shorter distance to the line of scrimmage. You're putting the ball out on the perimeter. And even though Atlanta has injuries, this is a defense that has good team speed.
So a big stop by the Falcon defense, forcing Sam Cook to punt from midfield. Allen Rawson calls for the fair catch at the 14. So we're early here in the second quarter, and you can hardly hear a needle drop here in Baltimore because the Falcons have controlled it so far. Falcons trying to break a 2-game losing streak. Is to Warwick Dunn for a couple of yards. Well, obviously this is not an insurmountable deal for the Ravens. It came from 19 points back last week, but a very impressive start, and Jim Mora has the Falcons playing well on the road thus far.
Oh, there was every opportunity for this Falcons team to just kind of blow up in the beginning of the game. They go for it on a 4th and inches in their end of the field, don't convert it. Baltimore's got an opportunity to get some early points. They can't capitalize, and since that time, the Atlanta Falcons have really had control of this game.
Second down and 8. 2 tight ends in the game, and Michael Vick flips it out, and the catch is made by Justin Griffin. He'll have a first down, and more as he picks up 12 yards, chased out of bounds by Adalys Thomas. So a very crisp offense and defense thus far for the Falcons.
Well, we saw him on the touchdown pass to Michael Jenkins stand in there. Here comes Gary Stills and Bart Scott. I mean, they're coming right into his face, and he's just standing there delivering these balls on target. If these wide receivers don't see what he's going through and start making some catches and giving him a little bit of support on a consistent basis, man, he's playing well in the pocket today.
From the 29, another play action, and wide open is Alvin Butler. Stiff arm. Adalys Thomas, tough job, Tony, to do that, but he gets 7 yards.
Yeah, just watching this defensive line here for the Ravens. They're going from a 3-man front to a 4-man front to a 5-man front. I mean, talk about switching it up. The offense for the Atlanta Falcons is doing a great job of pointing out who to block and where they're going, and doing a nice job of blocking up front.
There you see the pass distribution by Atlanta, and it's been pretty well balanced thus far. Second down and 3 at the 36. The handoff to Norwood. And Norwood gets close to the chains near the 41-yard line. Jarius Norwood, the third-round pick out of Mississippi State, who was inactive with a sprained knee last week. But one of the big reasons why the Falcons are the top rushing team.
Well, they've missed his spark, the speed that he has. And, you know, last week against Cleveland, and even before, the week before against Detroit, one of the things that's a part of this Atlanta running game are big plays in the running game. They lead the league in 10-plus runs, in 20-plus runs, and they haven't had those. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that Jarius Norwood has been out of the lineup. They really missed that spark that his speed gives them.
And they missed the first down by a couple of inches. And you mentioned Norwood. He's averaging nearly 7 yards a carry. So you've got Vick, Dunn, and Norwood who have picked up huge chunks of yards. So now at 3rd and inches, and the crowd comes alive here in the Crab City.
Well, Luce, I don't think we're going to see the same play that we saw on that 4th and inches. And they wouldn't get a tackle for a loss. I would expect Michael Vick here to try and get this one.
He does try, and it looks like he succeeds. A first down, Michael Vick does carry right out of Tony Siragusa's playbook, and a first down at the 40-yard line.
You know, just watching the defensive line of the Ravens, one thing I see them doing, they're on the line of scrimmage and they're reading. I don't agree with that. I think they need to go and get penetration and force these guys to go and make their cuts earlier to help the linebackers out.
First down at the 40. Warwick Dunn trying to go outside. And a pretty good run as Warwick Dunn gets it to the 45-yard line, picking up 5 yards on the play. They're doing a good job of controlling the clock on this series. Second down and 5. Talk about rushing yardage in the game. The Falcons have outrushed the Ravens 37-9 thus far on the ground. Second and 5. Play fake to Dunn, and Vick gets backed up. Loss of 6 yards on the play. Trevor Price, who had the big block last week. Well, we got some big games coming up on Fox. Next Sunday, it'll be the Bears and the Patriots. And then on December 3rd, the Cowboys and the Giants. The NFL has designated these feature games to be shown right here on Fox. December 17th, Eagles and Giants in the big NFC East battle. Saints and Giants, December 24th. Hand-picked games, crucial games, and all will be on Fox down the stretch. Third down and 11 from the 39 after that loss. And here is Vick. Nowhere to go. Gets away from one defender, and finally throws it off Ashley Lilly, and a flag goes down. Penalty marker down around midfield.
Got the hat off, so it looks like somebody stepped out of bounds. Might have been the first to touch it.
Doesn't look like he's happy about taking his hat off either, scratching it there.
He's a little thin back there, like most of us.
Number 87 offense went out of bounds, illegally touched the ball after he came back in. Penalty will be declined. Fourth down.
And he didn't touch it, didn't catch it anyway, so fourth down coming up, and Michael Kanan will come in to kick it away.
Well, Tony's talked about all the different formations. Look at everybody up here, but look what happens. They only end up rushing 3 guys. They pull everybody else out of the lineup. Those are the things you're going to see as they challenge the Atlanta Falcons offensive line in their protection rules.
And it looked like a flinch, and it should be a false start penalty, looking at the center with his movement first, but we'll see.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 34 defense moved into the neutral zone, caused the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
So Ovi Mihaly forced the Falcons center Todd McClure to make a move. But it is still fourth down, 4th and 6. They move up 5 yards. B.J. Sams goes back deep. And Michael Kanan. Sams will let it bounce at the 20. Picks it up inside the 10. And down he goes inside the 5.
Critical mistake by B.J. Sams. You cannot let the punt hit the ground when it's down in that part of the field.
There was a moment there where I thought, that was a pretty doggone good throw. I can probably play.
My sophomore year against Thomasville, I only got 3 balls. And those 3 went for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. I knew right then that I was on my way.
And the stadium was rocking, it was packed. Got a total of 400-some yards. That's when I knew.
When people stopped calling me Archie's boy, started calling me Peyton, that was a big moment for me.
Boy, it gets messy sometime using that mallet on those crabs, but this is the place to do it. They taste so good, and that aspect indigenous to this city. The average starting field position, big factor thus far, Darryl.
Well, you saw when Jim Moreeeee rolled the dice, went for it on the 4th down. The Ravens stop it, they get it to 38, but since then, the Atlanta special teams have done a good job of pinning the Ravens back deep.
Ravens starting from the 4, and the pass out to Mark Clayton. Clayton is tackled around the 10-yard line. Let's not forget the 36-yard punt return by Alan Rossum and Joe D. Camillus, who, of course, is the outstanding special teams coach for the Falcons, kept on by Jim Moreeeee after the Dan Reeves regime. And, of course, D. Camillus, the son-in-law of Dan Reeves, the former coach.
He does some really good things in special teams. You know, Jim Moreeeee has a lot of trust in him, and it's fun to watch the Atlanta Falcons play special teams because you never know what you're going to get.
2nd down and 4 from the 10. Two flags are down.
False start, number 79 offense. Half the distance to the goal, 2nd down.
Tony Pashos, the right tackle. Remember, Chris Chester, the right guard, starting at right guard today for the injured Pedrick Vincent, who is out with a groin injury, as you see the numbers so far of the game. And keep in mind that the Ravens have been held to only 9 yards rushing in a close game.
Well, that's been one of their Achilles heels so far this season. They haven't been able to run the ball effectively on a consistent basis, and it's the same story today.
2nd and 9. In the end zone is McNair on this pass. Aaron trying to get it to Mark Clayton.
There's just something missing from this offense right now. The guys coming back to the huddle. They're walking back. I mean, there's just no urgency with this offense. And, you know, Ray Lewis, we saw him trying to get these guys ready before the game. I'd get with the offense as soon as they come off the field after this drive.
Now, you're looking at a team that has really put up some points ever since, and we talked about it, since Billick took over the play calling from the former offensive coordinator, Jim Fossil. And then all of a sudden, they fizzled coming home after the 3-game winning streak. How do you figure?
I don't know. I really don't know. But I think it's the emotion they took the field with today.
3rd and 9 out of the shotgun. Pressure on McNair. Throws it up. Incomplete as he led Todd Heap. And a flag is thrown in the end zone. Or no, it is thrown out in the 30-yard line. So we do not have a roughing the passer call. But this will give hope to the Ravens if this one is against Atlanta.
Prior to the pass, holding on the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Huge penalty when it was 4th down and they have to kick from deep in their end zone. Instead, the Ravens get new life. And a 1st down to the dismay of Jim Moreeeee.
Lewis, I think you hit the nail on the head. You know, just over here near the Ravens sideline, just real flat. No, you know, Brian talked about how when he started calling the play calling that he wanted to get in a rhythm. It doesn't seem like they have any rhythm or emotion or anything here on the sideline.
From the 10-yard line, 1st down with 5:31 to go.
And the attention to detail, these penalties.
False start, number 60, offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Jason Brown, false start. This team is really out of sync. Let's go back to Heap on that last play.
And they're going to be holding on Todd Heap. It's Chris Crocker, number 25. He gives a little double move right there. There you see the hole that had a direct impact on that play because Steve McNair just missed it.
But a 5-yard penalty marked off, so back again to the 5 are the Ravens. 1st and 15.
Take it left, take it left. Take it left.
In the end zone, and the quick ball side. Moreeeee tackled at the 11-yard line, picking up 6 yards.
You heard all that that audibling at the line of scrimmage, and that's another area that Steve McNair has made progress in. When you go from one offense to another, it's really the terminology and the verbiage that you have to get accustomed to. And when you're at the line of scrimmage changing that play, Brian Billick said in the early part of the season he knew what to do, but he really had to think about it. Now it's like second nature to him when he's at the line of scrimmage changing his plays.
They just said verbiage. You know, most people say verbiage and they're wrong, but you were educated at an outstanding university.
Well, I said verbiage a year ago and you jumped all over me, so now I know it's verbiage.
Second down and 10. And again a flag.
79.
Let's stick to the football, Stockton.
Ball start, number 79 offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's what Brian Billick would like them to do, Tony.
I'll
stick to the
stick
football.
to the football if I can see some offensive football from this Ravens, Tony. They're sluggish.
That's the 4th false start call against the Baltimore offense. And Brian Billick visibly upset at this point. It'll be second down and 15. McNair had time, and the pass is caught by Derek Mason. And Mason will be shy of the first down by about 1.5 yards as Rossum and Keith Brooking downfield to make the call. So now it'll be third down and about 2. Take a look at the offensive leaders for a team that has yet to score thus far. Those are the numbers for McNair. Pretty good percentage of 10 of 14 and the rest. We'll call it 3rd and 1. They pass on 3rd and 1. And holding on to make the catch is Todd Heap. How valuable is he and dependable is the tight end? And a first down to the 29 as the Ravens pick up 10 yards on the play.
Well, Atlanta's defense really struggled with Kellen Winslow Jr. last week of the Browns, who plays a tight end position, and it happens a lot when he was displaced out of the formations. Todd Heap is another guy that can do that right now. He's just coming off the wing, but watch the strength at the point of the catch. This is Laurie Malloy, who has it timed up pretty well. He gets there right when the ball does, but Todd's able to squeeze that in.
We got some distinctive tight ends in Heap, who has 5 TD receptions to lead the AFC, and then Crumpler as Jamal Lewis tries to spin away, and he can't from Michael and will.
Jamal Lewis has got to just get downhill, and Atlanta does a good job of getting penetration and getting him to run lateral to the line of scrimmage. That is not his strength. He's a downhill power runner. If you can get him to turn his shoulders, you got a good chance of getting him to the ground.
Averaging just under 3 yards a carry is Jamal Lewis. And of course, remember Lewis, who had some sensational games in his career, been hampered by that knee injury since then. Second down and 12. Musa Smith checks in as a receiver out of the backfield. It's Todd Heap once again. They're going to their bread and butter. Tight end Todd Heap, who makes the grab up to the 36, picking up about 9. And it'll be third down coming up.
Here's Keith Brooking. He's the guy responsible for Todd Heap. You see him, he's reading the eyes of Steve McNair. He sees the ball delivered and moves up to make the tackle.
Brooking normally the weak side linebacker. If Ed Hartwell, the former Raven, were healthy, he's not. So Brooking playing the middle and Demorio Williams at the weak side spot. So 3rd and 4. And you see the Ravens heavy on the pass thus far. And the 2-minute warning is upon us. Kind of snuck up on us. McNair go to the sidelines, and we'll be back in a moment. Heading to Baltimore and all of the charms. Boy, that harbor really has been a great visitor's delight, Darryl.
They've just done a tremendous job with the revitalization of the harbor front here in the city of Baltimore. It's become a model around the country, and you know, the history, the being around the water, both of their sports stadiums right downtown. What a great city to visit.
And the food. Don't forget them crabs.
Don't forget them crabs.
2 minutes remaining in the half. It'll be third down and 4. McNair's pass. it's caught. It's a first down, and Derek Mason is there. And Rossum is signaling that he did not catch the ball, but it is a catch to the 40. That was the 8th play of the drive, believe it or not. And now incomplete is the call, and he did not have control, did Derek Mason.
Well, this is inside 2 minutes. It'd be a booth review. They've called it incomplete on the field. I don't know. It looks the same as the one that Michael Jenkins caught earlier. He got down and got his hands underneath it. I can't believe they're not even going upstairs to take a look.
Brian Billick's not too happy about that either.
You don't lose anything.
The previous play.
Right.
There you go.
I was going to say you don't lose anything by having a booth review. No timeouts, but they are going to review it. But it looked like Mason did not have control.